In my teenage years, when I first started jump training, I had the experience of strength training having a dramatic positive influence on my vertical jump. And also in college, when I first started training other people, I had some experience with some friends of mine who started strength training and saw, almost immediate improvement in their athleticism from getting stronger. At the same time, I was in strength and conditioning education, and I learned that strength training was, a very valuable tool for athletes, and particularly that transfer was very easy in lower level athletes. And then, I did learn about diminishing returns in more advanced athletes. But overall, I have formed this worldview in which strength training transfers to better athleticism. Then later in college, I also had the opportunity to work with a few track and field athletes. And they also seemed to get really easy transfer where they started strength training and it had a positive influence on their athleticism in the short term. So at that point, I'm thinking, man, strength training really just works for everything. What I didn't realize at the time is that the success that these athletes had was largely dependent on a lot of pieces of the puzzle already being in place before they add that quality general strength training, right? So these were all college age athletes who had, spent their childhoods playing sports, trying to jump high, trying to sprint fast, etc. And so they have years of development from that. They have a lot of the specific side of it in place, the explosiveness, the elasticity, the sprint and jump coordination. And so in that context, you add strength training and you get easy transfer. If you take away some of that specific development, right, some of those key pieces of the puzzle, then adding general strength very well may not transfer very well. It might be stubborn or it could even have a negative impact. There's two populations that started to clue me into this. The first was young kids that I started working with in person. And I went in expecting that, if I had them do a couple like squat and split squat sessions, that they were going to immediately jump higher, run faster, etc. Not necessarily the case, right? So I found much better transfer in a more trained college age athlete than I did in a 12-year-old kid. The key distinction is the college age athlete has more years of specific development in place, right? When you have more specific development, then the general strength transfers better. Then the other population that taught me that was guys online who were trying to train their vert, but they waited till they were in their 20s or 30s before they decided they wanted to go on that journey. So they to some degree, sort of missed that childhood athletic development and that specific jump ability development. And in that context, you have guys who, they send me an email, like, hey, I added 50 pounds to my squat. I'm not jumping any higher. And so again, it's like, if the specific development is not there, then transfer is a lot tougher. So as I've considered these things and learned and gotten more experience over time, my understanding, my worldview has evolved. And I'm still a big believer in strength training, but man, there's so many other pieces to the puzzle that we can't ignore. And every situation is different. Context is really important. But when we're looking for solutions for different people in different situations, just get stronger is the solution a lot less often than I once thought it was.